Let's talk about something pretty incredible. There's this hidden, powerful force inside you that's, well, quietly influencing almost every single aspect of your health. And no, I'm not talking about your heart or your brain. This is something far more complex and alive. It's a bustling world within you, and we're about to dive in and explore it.
I mean, really think about it. What if those feelings of anxiety or that stubborn acne you've been dealing with for years, or just that constant fatigue, what if they aren't actually separate problems at all? What if they're all just different symptoms pointing back to one single origin? We're going to explore how that central command center works, and of course, what happens when it gets thrown out of balance.
And here it is, the gut microbiome. We are talking about trillions, with a T, of bacteria, fungi, and other microbes. Now, to really put that into perspective, you are literally more microbial than you are human. Isn't that wild? For the longest time, we just thought of them as, passive passengers along for the ride. But we now know they are incredibly active participants in our health.
Now this is where it gets really cool. Instead of thinking about individual bacteria, I want you to picture a vibrant, complex ecosystem. Think of it like a rainforest inside of you. A healthy forest is diverse, it's resilient, it's teeming with all sorts of different species, and each one has a crucial role to play. Well, a healthy gut, it's the exact same.
And just how crucial is this inner forest of yours? Get this, a staggering 70% of your body's entire immune system is located in and around your gut. That's not a typo. Your gut bacteria are constantly interacting with these immune cells. They're essentially training them, teaching them how to tell the difference between a friend and a foe.
So right away, it's pretty clear we're talking about so much more than just digestion. The health of your gut literally radiates outward, influencing systems all over your body. So let's explore some of these absolutely incredible connections.
First up, the gut-brain axis. I want you to imagine a constant, two-way biochemical hotline running between your gut and your brain. It's not a one-way street. It's why you feel butterflies in your stomach when you get nervous, and it's also why stress and anxiety can so often show up as digestive problems. They're constantly talking to each other. And this visual, wow, it just brings home how deep that connection really is. Your gut microbes are like these tiny chemical factories. Amazingly, about 90% of your serotonin, that's the feel-good neurotransmitter, is made right there, in your gut. They also produce crucial substances like GABA, which helps keep us calm. It's a really clear illustration. An unhappy gut can literally lead to an unhappy mind.
Okay, so let's look at how this internal world can actually show up on the outside. We are something called the gut-skin axis. And the best way to think about it is that your skin is often a direct reflection, a mirror, of your internal environment. What's happening on the surface can be a major clue about what's going on deep inside.
In fact, we see these really strong links between imbalances in the gut and chronic inflammatory skin conditions like eczema, acne, psoriasis, and rosacea. This is often why these conditions don't fully respond to creams and topical treatments, because the real root of the inflammation is actually starting in the gut.
And it doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. The microbiome plays a massive role in your metabolism. And this is fascinating. It's not just about the calories you eat. It's about how your body, with the direct help of your gut bacteria, actually processes and uses those calories.
Your gut bacteria actually help determine how efficiently you pull energy from your food. They produce compounds that can signal to your brain to feel hungry or full or to store fat. They even influence how well your cells respond to insulin. This is precisely why gut health is now at the absolute forefront of how we understand and manage metabolic conditions.
And finally, there's this powerful link to chronic pain and fatigue. This is a big one for so many people. Research is showing distinct differences in the gut microbiomes of people with conditions like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even long COVID. It strongly suggests that the gut is a major driver of the systemic inflammation behind that pain and exhaustion.
Okay, so we've seen how amazing this system is when it's working. But what happens when that delicate ecosystem gets thrown off balance? Well, we enter a state of disharmony, and that's when some pretty significant health issues can really start to pop up.
This slide shows you the two sides of the coin. On the left, you've got eubiosis. That's a state of healthy balance, our thriving rainforest. But on the right, you've got dysbiosis. That's an imbalanced state where the diversity is lost, the harmful bacteria start to take over, and inflammation skyrockets. Think of it as the rainforest becoming a swamp. And this shift can be triggered by all sorts of things like antibiotics, a poor diet, or chronic stress.
Now, dysbiosis often leads to this right here. You might have heard the term leaky gut.
Think of your gut lining as a really smart, tightly controlled gatekeeper. But when it gets damaged, that gate starts to break down. This leaky gut allows inflammatory compounds to literally escape the gut and travel throughout your bloodstream, triggering all those systemic issues we talked about in your skin, your brain, your joints, everywhere.
So, if the problem is this complex and interconnected, how in the world do we fix it? Well, this is where the naturopathic approach really differs. We focus not just on the symptoms, but on digging deeper to find out why they're happening in the first place.
The conventional approach often asks, how can we stop the symptom? And might use something like an antacid for reflux or a laxative for constipation. The naturopathic approach asks a different question. Why is the symptom happening? Is there a bacterial overgrowth, a food sensitivity? Is that gut barrier compromised? The goal is to restore normal function, not just put a bandage on the problem.
And to answer that why question, we don't guess. We use functional testing. These advanced tests give us a detailed map, a blueprint of your unique gut ecosystem. We can see which bacteria are there, we can measure inflammation, we can assess the integrity of your gut barrier. This allows us to create a truly personalized and targeted plan. Okay, so with that map in hand, our goal is to restore the ecosystem, to bring that rainforest back to life. And we used a structured, phased approach that's often called the weed, seed, and feed protocol. The best way to think about this is like restoring a garden. It just makes sense. First, you have to remove the weeds. These are the disruptive foods or overgrown microbes. Then you replace what might be missing, like essential digestive enzymes. After that, you re-inoculate by seeding the garden with beneficial bacteria. Next, and this is crucial, you repair the soil, in this case, the gut lining itself. And finally, you rebalance and feed this beautiful new garden for sustainable, long-term health.
So those initial phases, remove and replace, are all about preparing the ground. This means we strategically take out inflammatory foods, and we might use targeted herbal antimicrobials to gently clear out any of those disruptive microbes that have overgrown. At the same exact time, we make sure the digestive system has the fundamental support it needs to function properly, like having enough enzymes.
Once that ground is prepared, then we move into the rebuilding phases. We re-inoculate by seeding the gut with specific probiotic strains to bring that diversity back. We repair the gut lining with key nutrients to fix that leaky gut and restore the protective barrier. And finally, and this is probably the most important part, we rebalance by establishing the diet and lifestyle habits needed to feed this new, healthy ecosystem for the long haul. So if there is one single thing to take away from all of this, let it be this. The health of this hidden inner world is not some minor detail. It is absolutely foundational. It acts as a core pillar of your overall well-being, influencing everything from your immune defenses to your metabolism to your mental clarity.
You know, every symptom your body experiences is part of a larger story that it's trying to tell you. After everything we've looked at today, it's really worth asking yourself, is your gut the main character in that story? Thinking about it that way, well, it might just change how you see your health forever.